All right, this is our morning consistency Qigong. Now keep in mind that every day is a retreat. So it's not about having a set time period.
It's waterproof so I can wash it easy.
You should do this every day anyway, but it's good to be with people of like mind to keep you motivated as you keep cultivating your energy. And a retreat also helps you get out of your day-to-day schedule to break off and to cultivate yourself and rebuild yourself. So here we are once again, to get this energy to flowing. So if you want to join in also, you can. Now, I hope I got here on, I hope I got it on for everybody. Y'all can keep talking for a minute. Tell them how your Qigong meditations are going.
My Qigong meditations are going cool. Remember I had a bad day yesterday because someone annoyed me. So I did have some orange juice.
This is God Elitom El-Amin, Breatharian. Now what we want to talk about is the Breatharian city power. City is a term that means powers that you gain through meditation and the deeper yoga practices. Now keep in mind that these practices are for deep religious people or people who are into spiritual cultivation to develop these powers. Deeply religious mean people who have a personality to show up, be on time, and be dedicated to an idea. It's just not for the average person to develop these powers. So you must be in a cultivation practice, because I'll be telling you, to develop the Breatharian power, it must come through meditation, not fasting. You understand? Now this is in the ancient text. And in the ancient text on the second city power is called Hadi Vidya. Vidya just means knowledge. Keep that in mind. This is Breatharian Elitom El-Amin. Now, Hadi Vidya just means knowledge, Vidya. And in the ancient text, when a person is cultivating themselves and they get to a certain degree, it says that you will not feel hungry or thirsty. You hear that? You won't even feel it. So therefore, when you start getting to those levels, you know you have achieved a certain accomplishment. Now, if you feel hungry, you need to go eat. If you feel thirsty, you need to go drink because you're not a practitioner. Being a practitioner on these paths, these are powers that will develop through opening up your energy channels through meditation and consistency. Now, to take it further, when a practitioner stays on the path, they could go for months or years at a time that's written in the ancient text, and they could go completely depending on how far you take your practice. It don't end, and it's not an overnight venture. Peace and blessings. This is Elitom El-Amin, Breatharian. And here I am with Lola, and she's on day 4 of her process. And this is awesome because when you deal with the Breatharian process, it's different for everybody. Because we all come from different scenarios. You see she's blowing her nose, so this is day 4. Mucus is coming up.
Oh, mate. Last night was tough. Night.
Now, yesterday, how did you feel? She did go through her, healing crisis. That's what you went through. Now, tell us a little bit about your healing crisis.
Healing crisis was, I was okay for the day.
Yeah.
Until about 3 o'clock. No, when we was doing Qigong, I'm coughing up mucus. I'm like,
oh, man.
3 o'clock, I am like, my nose is streaming.
Now listen at this for y'all who don't understand what takes place.
But luckily it didn't get into my throat, it just was in my nose.
Right.
And a slight headache, and my nostrils were blocked, so I thought I couldn't breathe.
Oh,
when I went to bed last night, I'm gonna die, I can't breathe.
Right. Now listen at this, just from not eating and not putting stuff in your body is going to start getting rid of stuff. So those of you who don't know fasting. So all this mucus is coming up. Mucus is in your system because your mouth is connected to your anus. So everything you put in your body creates this mucus, which is this slimy stuff, so that the food can pass through more smoothly. Everybody deals with it if you're eating. So when you stop eating over a period of time, your body's going to start getting rid of that in a form of what? Blowing your nose, spitting it up. You know how you wake up in the morning, you got that hawker? That's mucus. Your body automatically try to get rid of it. But day after day, when you go in the process of cleaning yourself out, your body's going to start getting rid of it more and more. So that's what we call a healing crisis, because you basically felt sick.
Yeah.
So that's why being on the breatharian process, people say, why do I feel worse than I did when I was eating? Because your body's trying to heal itself and get rid of stuff. So therefore, it's telling you, that's why you need to cool down, settle down, get you a place where things are not getting on your nerves, because you're going to feel irritable. Itching's going to start taking place. It aches and pains in different places. So you're asking the question, why do I feel worse when I'm not eating? As soon as I ate something, I felt good again. Well, your body stopped the process. So it knows how to eat all its life. Now, I'm not saying that the food or anything is better for you, but that's what your body's used to, so it stopped the process from all that stuff moving. So that's why you got to understand what's taking place to you, and that's why this is a process of taking your time. Don't try to beat up on yourself and put tape on your mouth, I'm never going to eat again. Your body has to get used to this. Well, once it get used to this, and you're doing it repeatedly over and over again in your lifestyle, these processes will be a lot more smoother.
And also, because I had my little medicine box with me, right? So I also knew, okay, a cold's coming on, so I took my tissue salts, Cali salt.
Right.
I took silica to let things come out, and I also took a lot of cayenne pepper.
Right.
So I took my herbs, really.
Now, there's different types of processes. Now, listen at this. Some people go straight, no food and water, no nothing to help them. That they call that, excuse my language, balls to the wall. Stay dry fasting. And that is a lot more strenuous. However, 1 day of dry fasting is equal to you putting anything in your body 3 days water fasting. So that's why people, they jump to it, because they feel that that's going to make them into a breatharian quicker. But it's not. It'll clean you out faster, and there's other type of benefits, but that's all you're dealing with. They say, because fasting and breatharianism is two different things. Now, for number 2, it's okay to take herbs and stuff depending on where you're coming from. So she said she took some things to help her out. So in a way, she is fasting, but keep in mind, she said we also was doing meditations and stuff. So that's what makes a difference on the breatharian prayer for living on prana. Meditation is the foundation. So when I teach, you also are doing the meditations within the process to help open up the energy channels and the energy flow. So that even speeded up the process if you bringing up more mucus and stuff. See, doing season changes, that's why everybody catches colds and flus and stuff. Because if the atmosphere changes, your body has to change with it. So your body is user friendly. It's going to get rid of all of that stuff so it can keep up with the atmosphere. It happens to everybody. So when you start fasting, at least during season changes, you will more than likely won't catch a cold nor catch flus, and then you don't have to be in this debate about vaccinations. You understand? The reason why you're being vaccinated because you're not doing those other precautions, and society is trying to look out for itself. There is knowledge on allowing your body to be exposed to a poison so that your body can build an immunity to it. That's ancient. You understand? So don't be beating up on people talking about vaccinations. If you put yourself back in the cycles, then you got something to bring to the table. But for right now, you can make everybody sick because you don't want to change. Now, since we got that off our chest, that's a whole nother lesson in itself. So then, now tell them what else you've been going through.
So then, after I stuffed my nose with, what's that, tiger balm so that I could breathe.
Oh, the toilet paper. She's from England now, tiger bombs.
You know, tiger balm is like the deep heat rub.
Oh, that's what you're talking about, the tiger bomb. Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
I couldn't breathe. I was like...
All right. She was looking bad too. We posted and did this video yesterday. I said, you go rest for the night. We'll do it in the morning. So this is what's taking place.
Yeah.
So that's why this is the 4th day.
Yeah, because I couldn't breathe or my nose was all blocked and everything. So anyway.
And keep in mind, this was your first fast like that ever.
Yeah.
So she went through some things.
Yeah. And then I was panicking that, oh my God, I'm going to die in the night. But anyway, relaxed, went to sleep early. But then what was really beautiful this morning, I'm dreaming. My dream world is so vivid, so bright, so like real life actually happening now. And I'm in the countryside. And then I'm also flying, because I used to fly a lot when I was younger in my dreams, but then I stopped flying in my dreams.
Right.
But then I started flying like a Spike Lee movie, like, you know, I said gliding, and then I would go up to the rooftops, but then I would say to myself, nah, I don't want to go up into the cosmos, I'm just going to hang here. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm dreaming. I'm actually dreaming. This is a dream.
You know you was dreaming inside of your dream.
I knew I was dreaming inside of my dreams. I'm like, oh, this is a dream. Okay, so what? Am I going to go into the woods, or am I going to, or there was a house?
Right.
Or am I going to go into the house?
Absolutely.
Right, so I decided to go into the house.
Now listen at this. Purity of body changes your dreams. When a person has nightmares, it's usually due to a bad diet.
Now, this was a cool dream.
And this was a cool dream. That's what I'm saying. A person who usually have nightmares is because of toxicity in the body.
Yeah.
That's how the body is interpreting the energies that's flowing.
Yeah.
See, because back when I was toxic, that's when I used to have nightmares, bad dreams, wake up, heart pumping, all this other stuff. The more I stayed on this path, I don't even dream no more.
You don't dream anymore? Oh, I love dreaming.
Well, I don't sleep much.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, your body's clean, so it ain't gonna be no nightmares. And then again, this is a dream that you're living in.
This is the dream.
This could be the dream or the nightmare. I got you in my dream right now. You're in my dream world. We having a good time. Look at us.
Yeah.
But that's associated with it, because one time they called me on this show to do an interview, and they said, well, since this guy don't eat, I wonder what type of paranormal stuff he's seeing. Now, I see more paranormal stuff when I wasn't a breatharian, when I was eating meat, when I was toxic. That's when I had all those paranormal visions. When I became clean and pure, I don't have them no more. That's awesome, ain't it? So that goes to show you, I'm not stepping on nobody's toes. I know you psychics out there, y'all seeing all types of stuff. But look at your physical body, that could be adding to it, or how you're interpreting things. That don't mean it has to be like that. I saw an angel. Maybe it wasn't an angel. That's what your mind showed you. I'm just saying, we got to go there. It makes a difference. When the vessel changes, the way, the thought process and the dreams will change.
Yeah, it was a beautiful dream. And I woke up like really happy, because this is the first time I think I managed to do a lucid dream.
Right.
Because I was always quite curious. Like before I doing this, I'm bunning weed everything every day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody in my world knows that Lolly's a smoker, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
a little weed. So like, my dreams had gone. It's true. My dreams, I'd stopped dreaming, and I am quite a dreamer girl when I was younger. And so now for me, this is quite a profound thing to have my dreams coming. I mean, I've been
Ain't
clean
that wonderful?
Now since September. I've been clean and stuff like that, no smoking. My dreams are coming back. I'm having really profound dreams again. But I started flying, man.
Yeah.
I'm super happy.
Now look
happy.
Now look at her process. It just didn't start now. It started back when you said you stopped smoking the weed.
Yeah, when I went to Bali first time, I was like, yeah.
Right. Now, I'm not against people that smoke weed, but I meet a lot of people in the process, they want to be a breatharian, and this is what I say to them nicely. You know, I'm not talking against different things that you like to do and stuff like that, but if you let that go,
oh, man,
it will change the energy. It will bring it to another dimension if you let it go. If you still want to enjoy that, fine. That's the life experience you want.
I mean, I loved it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've got nothing against bunning weed at all.
I'm about to take these out. There's somebody always want to jump on my videos talk about, don't you know the ear pods? I say, it'll hurt you. But so let's keep the peace. I'm taking off the ear pods.
Yeah. So for my process, it was, for me, that's what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Stop the weed, because I wanted the more clarity within myself.
You wanted more clarity.
And I wanted my dreams back.
And you want your body, when you're on these breatharian process ascensions, you want your body to go back into its potential. There's things that actually became dormant within us from eating all of our lives and putting things all in our bodies. Some things are dormant and some things are semi-dormant. So you want to give it time to open back up so you can go back into your true natural state, your true natural power. This is awesome, ain't it?
Yeah.
Now, breatharianism is the path to ascension. Why would I say that so boldly? Now listen. We are creatures, okay, we're animals, but we're built upright. And we got a lot of forces that's taking place that's actually helping us for the ascension process. And our heads being on top, we're not walking on all fours like other animals. Our heads, you ever heard that term, your head is in the clouds? So we live in the bottom of gases, your head is in the gases. Then you're made of mostly water, but water takes up the rest of the space, and we're only a little bit of physical matter. We just think we're mostly matter. No, you're not. So we're made of what? They tell you 70% water, even though you don't see it.
A bit more even, I would say.
Even a bit more. And you're living in water. But you're only a little bit physical matter, but it's the gas part that's getting everybody.
Tell that story about that.
Oh, yeah. Now, he got a good thing in here called The God Man by George W. Carey and Inez Perry. The Word Made Flesh. But what he's saying is, one day there was a little boy asking his mother about ice. What is this? She said it's ice. And he said, what is it made out of? And she said it's made out of water. He said, where's the water? She said, inside. Now, he took it and smashed up the ice, but it just broke up in little ice pieces. It was still ice. However, over a period of time, being in the right conditions, which is heat, the ice turned into water. So then he realized, or his mother said, see, ice never existed. It always been water. Ice is nothing more than frozen water. It is nothing more than crystallized water, crystallized vapor. You get this now. So physical matter as you know it, to get this story, it really don't exist. It's made of something else once it thaws out. But then he said, well, what's in the water? She said it's a combination of gases put together, and they're just moving at a different rate. Now, he ain't understand this until it was put into another condition of heat. So pretty soon, the water vaporized and turned into its gas state. Now, that's telling us a lot about ourselves, too. The reason why the Breatharian is a process of ascension, because you're taking your body and putting it into different conditions to transform itself. See, right now, we're light, but you're frozen light. You're crystallized light. So when you put yourself in another condition of heat, through meditation, through running energy, you're going to transform more into a liquid state, more fluid. Your thoughts will be more fluid. Your movement will be more fluid. But if you take it even further, that's why you read in the scriptures about people disappearing and all this. They just went back into a gas state. You're nothing but molecules put together. So as long as you stay on this path, especially when you start lightening up food, food is just molecules too. It's more denser.
And then, because you're talking about the heat in the stomach.
We're hot inside.
And this is the fire that burns the food. So if you're not burning the food, you can be burning the energy, right?
You can be burnt. That's it.
So then that's how you get to this.
That's why in the scriptures they say the fire in the temple must never go out. You're the priest of this temple, so you have to keep the fire lit. Put a different type of fuel on it. So you don't need the dense logs anymore. You understand? That's how we used to make fires in humanity. Now we can make heat out of nuclear energy. We got solar energy. We could do energy out of water. We got so many different things we could make other sources of energy that gives off less toxicity. Now here we go. Because when you burn physical fuel like a log or something, it gives off a lot of carbon in the atmosphere. That's why we talk about the carbon crisis going on. Or what they call that, global warming.
Or the logs that we poo out.
Right. The cows and stuff, giving off all that methane and all of that. So that's what they're talking about. We're harming the atmosphere through a lot of burnt carbon, and there's other sources of energy that we can burn that's a lot more cleaner. So it goes the same with the physical body. You can make choices to burn a lot cleaner fuel to give off less toxicity so the vehicle can run a lot better. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Now, so through meditation, your cells in your body feed off of an energy called ATP. That's a medical scientific fact. You understand? So through meditation, as you're receiving all this solar energy, we're sitting in the sun right now. Now the sun just ain't bouncing off of us. Our melanin in our skin, which everybody has, whether if it's neuromelanin, everybody has it inside. If you're light skinned, you got pheomelanin, and if you're darker skinned, you got eumelanin. Everybody has it. And when a baby's born, that black dot around his head, that's what it is. It is a good harvester of energy, so it won't harm our DNA. It's protecting us. But it's grabbing this heat, 99.9% of it. And it's grabbing this solar light and it's turning into the heat. So that it won't harm us, right? So then this heat just ain't sitting there. You just ain't been taught this. Now heat, which is energy, could be used for other functions so we can function. To keep your heart beating, to keep me talking, to keep me to see. We use this cosmic energy for everything. So when you get used to meditating, bringing this new cosmic energy in so your body can use it, you understand. Now you don't need to dense fuel or putting a log on the fire anymore. Is this making sense? This is why this is a process. Because your body is overall listening to the commands that's coming from your thinking. Your thinking is a vehicle. So what you think do manifest. So if you're programmed to say, if you don't eat, you'll die, or this, you need this to get vitamin C, this to get vitamin D, you just program the vehicle and it's carrying it out. So you must break those modes of thought. That's not true. So that's why I'm a breatharian, because I'm nourishing right now. You can look at me right here on this film. That's energy, ain't it? We're in energy, an ocean of gases. You're breathing it. The right combination of gases. That's keeping us live, that's keeping us animated. But see, when you get onto these levels like this, that's why I did a video yesterday talking about some of the city powers that's in yoga. And there's like 9 of them, and then there's 8 additional ones. Now there's a city power where breatharianism is at. Through meditation, from a serious person. We ain't talking about nobody who just said they're gonna do this as a hobby. You understand? So you need to be a person who meditation or grabbing these other energies is in your lifestyle. You're not doing it just to be cute no more. You need to be religious about it, because you are actually transforming yourself, because that's what makes us different than other animals. You can actually make a plan to transform yourself. If you start running a marathon, ain't you gonna get a new marathon body? It's gonna look different, ain't it? And you ain't gonna start out running all that mileage right away. Have you ever ran before?
No.
Here we go. So if you never ran before, you know this gonna be
Painful. Until I practice and I get good, and I'll be like,
right. It ain't about you winning, beating everybody else. You could take this body, because you really ain't got nothing wrong with your legs. There's some people who crippled and stuff like that. You can run a marathon if you desire. And even if you look on the internet, they'll give you I know because I looked at it. There's so much good information. There's people will tell you how to train for one. If you're not used to running, start walking. Then once you walk these miles, start running. Then when you start doing 2 miles, you skip it up to 5. You understand? So that's the same way with these processes. Why would it be even different? People try to starve themselves to breatharianism, and that's unrealistic. That's why you don't see a big turnaround. So we got to go there. So these energy channels in your body, they call them nadis, but now we could get in the medical profession and say it's our neural system. We are electrical beings. Your thoughts are electrical. They could be measured. Somebody asked me last night, well, you said that our thoughts is just like radio waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Measured the same way, the same propagation. This is a radio, and you're also transmitting constantly. So you want to put yourself in this process, and you're upgrading your radio. There's some radios that's so small they only could get certain radio stations. But there's some radios so big, hey man, I could get radio stations in London.
I've got a song called Radio in my head.
Yeah.
That's what I put it out.
And that's what we're doing. We're expanding this radio, expanding this piece of equipment, transforming it, getting the blood flow going. What is one big thing that's happening in the Western countries? High blood pressure.
Yeah.
That's preventable. It don't have to happen. You know as good as well as I do. If you change your diet, you lose some weight, you start getting that blood circulating, that's how you reverse it.
What did you say yesterday? The reason for the high blood pressure is that the water's got too much earth in it.
Oh yeah, well we was talking about the elements.
Yeah.
The water got too much earth in it. In other words, it's blocked up.
Sediment.
Because when you deal with we like playing with these words of spirituality, the 4 elements, the earth, the fire, the air, the water. You understand? But our bodies have it on it. You can say the earth is the skin, right?
Yeah.
You see it, the bone. That's the earth just like this ground.
Yeah.
Then the air, we breathing it.
Yeah.
Our lungs got it all in it, so you're dealing with that element. And then I'm 98.6 degrees inside. How do you inside? It's different in London. So like 36 something metro kilometers, whatever y'all go off of. But that's hot inside, so that's the fire inside of us. That's what they call the eternal fire. And then we're working with that other element, the water. That's the fluids inside of us, the hemoglobin, the plasma, the lymph. So
Urine,
when you in the urine, so when you harmonize all of these, like how nature is, you got the lake there, you got the sun coming, you know where I'm getting. Then you got everything harmonized, working smoothly, everything's regenerating each other and all of this other good stuff. There's no difference than us. That's why they say we're nature. You understand? You see the trees growing here, grass right here. It's real, it's the grass. I had to cut it this morning, trim it a little bit so the neighbors won't complain. But this is what we're doing. And then I, get a massage. I got to straighten out the earth a little bit. You know what I mean? This is what we're dealing with. Get the rivers flowing. I went for a walk this morning with my other friend. So we jamming. You got power over nature, which is yourself. But when you sitting up there with your backyard and then pretty soon you don't cut the grass, but then all of a sudden, people just throwing trash all in your yard, that house look pitiful.
The house looks pitiful.
Pretty soon the water get polluted, it backs up. That's high blood pressure. It got backed up from pollution.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with. You got to look at it like that. So when you come back on this process, the breatharian process, now don't get me wrong, fasting is part of it because you're letting something go. You're using a word called temperance. Temperance is where you're using some type of self-restraint from eating and drinking. Let's be clear with it. But what makes it different than fasting is temporary, but through meditation, living on prana is a whole nother beast. You could go on. So that's why when you look at the city powers, what I was talking about yesterday, you would get to the level you won't even feel hungry and thirsty. You stand in the practice and see what happens. Now, if you're still getting hungry and thirsty, it ain't about you pushing through like you all of a sudden go.
You just got to be gentle with it.
You got to be gentle with it.
And then that's a question that I wanted to say because I'm still getting those hunger things, and I'm using it for orange, and luckily I can substitute that with orange juice.
Right.
But I'm still thinking on the orange juice.
Right. Because
So
you're a new practitioner. This is normal. You've been eating all your life.
Yeah.
What you think it was just going to disappear on a 3-day fast?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We're professional eaters. And your body is a creature of habits, and it got a memory.
Yeah.
Memory is all in our cells. And remember what the cookies taste like,
Yeah.
the pies,
I know.
all that stuff. And we might as well say it, you remember what meat tastes like. So people still struggling. You understand? Well, I'm a vegan until you get with grandma.
That chicken tastes good.
But just because you slipped that time, does that mean you're no longer a vegan? No. So that's why people be blasting the breatharian community. Oh, I saw you eat something. So what? They was with their family. That person has the power to lay it down like you can't and go for weeks, go for months, and go for years, depending on what level they at as a practitioner. So we need to nip all this in the bud. So now listen. So when you become a practitioner, if you're still hungry and still all of that, you're not there yet. Don't give up. Just keep staying with the practice. You're a practitioner. You're a baby. Now, when you get to the level, because if you have to ask, that means you ain't there. Some people say, well, they got that image of their head, a burrito or something. Right, people do call me about that. Should I eat this rice or not? If you got to ask, you ain't there.
Because it's going to give you so much trauma.
If you try to suppress something, eventually it's going to come up. But see, that's why the spirituality goes in degrees and levels. You will feel proud of yourself when you stay into the meditations and you can look at food and say, but I'm not even hungry. Wow, it's not even bothering me. That's your accomplishment on the level you just came into. You understand? Now, when I talked about those city powers, you got a person, they might start out, they could go a couple days like it's nothing. It's easy. They could go a week like it's nothing. It's easy. Is that a breatharian? Yes, it is. But however, they're still at a certain degree, a certain level. They can't go months and years yet. But if you stay on this path, you'll get to the level and you'll start downsizing your life board too, you'll do it naturally because you'll figure out these external stresses that we're doing to ourselves will keep you into the matrix. Unnecessary bills, unnecessary relationships, being around stressful people, stressful conversations. Yeah, you start figuring it out. Man, that's triggering me. For comfort, all these triggers start going and you start noticing them.
Can I say something? So before I left Bali and that, I was working in this shop, so my boss was such a negative man.
Right.
And feeding me with all his negativity, and I was like, luckily I was doing this other thing, so I knew that there was money coming in. But anyway, one day I just, that's it, I'm gone.
You're gone.
I just walked out because like your whole energy just upsets me.
Right.
And I argue with him and I scream at him and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, and he's my boss. Do you know what I mean? So why am I screaming at you for? You don't care about it. It's your business. You don't care. So I just literally walked out.
Right.
Without no sort of premeditated thought about how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to do this?
Because your health, that was a health move.
Because the thing is that you are stressing me out so much, right? For no good reason.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't need this.
Right.
See you later.
And they do got a medical scenario dealing with it. It was in England where they was tracking people about health and stress. And they had people in certain jobs with stress because your body's giving off hormones.
Yeah.
It is. It's killing you. Just for feeling that way.
Yeah.
And
it's also been not fearful. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I walked out.
Yeah.
But then there was obviously something within me that said to me, I don't need this. I don't need to deal with this bully. So I'm going to be brave enough just to walk and trust that universe is going to sort me out, and universe did sort me out.
Right, and I'm glad you said that, bully. There is a thing called workplace bullying.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't want
There's people
to be
that's running around that would stress you out. They're like the devils in hell running around.
And he's a little mini devil.
Little demons.
Little demon,
And all they want to do is get joy off of stressing you out.
You know?
It exists. That's why the scripture says the wheat is amongst the tares. So on this path, you'll start saying, I like that group of people. These ones are stressing me out, or that person's stressing me out. Now, I'm not saying being judgmental or nothing like that, because people can change. But some people are unwilling to let go of that energy. They constantly bring stress, constantly do all this other stuff. You let that person be in their own mind. That's hell just to live in that body.
Oh, my days.
So you can see what they're going through. You kind of feel sorry for them. You're stuck in that mind. I'm not.
Yeah, and
So-
it's a relief.
And you got to build up an energy where you don't be fearful on, well, how I'm going to pay my rent, how I'm going to do this. Your health will have to override sooner or later when enough is enough. And that's when you'll see the universe will kick in, but will open up another door for you.
And it did.
And it did.
And that's what you just got to trust and believe, that, put your health forward, your peace of mind first.
Right.
Put you first. You must self-love, self-realization.
Self-love, right.
You first. I can't put my life before you.
Now listen at
Possible.
that. Now somebody did tell me I was egotistical, and I looked at the definition. I didn't know what that meant, so I had to go look it up. But it said, into yourself, self-indulgent. I said, what's wrong with that? They gave me a compliment.
You got to put yourself first, otherwise they're gonna suck the life force out of you.
Right, suck the life force out of you. So I guess that is the breath, because we talk about going inside. So there you go. So I know it's spirituality. I know what they're talking about too. And believe me, I'm not the individual that's treating people mean whatsoever. So that was just they meant it to be a insult, but at the same time, it's not. You need to go inside and put yourself first and be self-indulgent to look out for your health. If you feel those hormones shaking and somebody keep making it shake, you walking on eggshells, that's the wrong energy to be in.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it speaks for itself.
So would you say, in a way, before you even become a breatharian, there's got to be these other steps that you got to be able to take before this path can actually...
Now look at her wording. Before you become a breatharian. Now listen at this. On one level, everybody is a breatharian.
Yeah, but consciously.
So now, in the breatharian message is a holistic health message. Now listen at this. So dealing with your health, you should be in a cycle of health first before you even think about eating or not eating. Did I word that right? Because people's messing it up now. What is the official breatharian, right? Okay, we're getting this extension of time put in. But what we're saying is, just by being on this path, if you're not getting healthier, you're on the wrong path or you're doing something wrong. Because I see many people try to starve themselves in, and they're coming out with food disorders, they're not looking good, and they're not feeling good. You got the wrong idea what the Breatharian message is. It is a health holistic message. Because just by not being in that stressful situation when you got out of it, you can feel your health improve.
Yeah. And you always
that means more energy is flowing better.
Yeah. And you're always going on about holistic. So there's everything. You've got to take the whole of your life, your relationships, your work, your thingy, everything.
So even being a breatharian, now this is where it gets good. It's not like you out of the world. You're still in the world. So you have to maintain that now. You still will find yourself getting in stressful situations, but you can see it a lot quicker than before when you were ignorant. You understand? So a lot of people got the wrong idea. They thinking this is going to make them escape from the world. This is not what it's about at all. This is actually giving you're always going to wake up with a decision on how to carry yourself. You just became good at it because you're an energy worker. You understand? In other words, then you'll start looking at food. If I eat that now, that could make my day. I'll be sleeping. I'll be doing all this. I don't want to feel like that. So that's when I start breaking off more. It's a feeling state. You know what direction that's headed. There we are now. You can see. That's what they mean by your third eye open. Your sixth sense. You got cognitive thinking skills. Yeah. That's what you're dealing with.
Because I remember when we was doing the retreat earlier on, and I was doing the watermelon. I was happy with my watermelon and my little crisps here and there, but that was fine. Then one time I did the rice. Remember I went to switch to the rice?
Right.
And I was still being a vegan, and I was still being healthy. Do you know what I mean? No meat, no just vegetables.
Right.
I was blocked up. I felt uncomfortable. I couldn't sit properly.
Right.
I was like, I need.
And you know what did it.
And I knew that it was the rice that did it. You know,
knew
brown
it was the
rice,
rice,
healthy rice. Do you know what I mean?
And you compared that feeling, compared what you was doing the watermelon.
Yeah.
What you're doing is doing. I want to go back there.
Yeah.
I want to stay there.
No.
But what I mean is you'll get to the point in your life. This is what makes a breatharian a breatharian. Once you start weighing it, I want to stay in this scenario.
Yeah.
I want to stay lighter.
Yeah.
And you can maintain it, but that's a whole other ballgame. That's why it's called a journey.
Yeah.
And then you'll scoot it a little bit further. I feel better at being this way. You understand?
Because I feel good. You know what I mean? Even though I had the problem yesterday, I feel good here.
Right.
I feel light. I can my yoga. I can do things. I can focus more.
Right.
You know?
That's why people ask me now. So I've been on this path for 20 years. So it's like, what is the best meal of the day? I don't know now. All of them hurt. What should I do? Eat breakfast? I don't want to do that. Lunchtime? That don't even make sense. When noon come up, I'm ready to go for another walk. Yeah. And then dinner?
No.
Oh man, you ain't even thinking about it. So I got so used to this state. This is what I want to maintain. That's all it is.
Because it makes you feel good.
Right.
You're not troubled by this
Plenty of energy, could do other things, blah, 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 blah.
And it's getting that memo that this is the fire, this digestive fire. It's
That's
that
it.
memo. Getting that message to say
right.
that if you're putting your food in there, the fire is going to be burning out the food, not burning out your true nature, your true potential.
Absolutely. So that's why every time you urinate, every time you do the number 2, the feces, it's always warm because it's hot in here. It got burnt up. This is the consuming fire. God is a consuming fire. So allow that fire to start slowly coming, cleansing you, and that's going to give the brain what it needs. Remember we said heat is energy. So if the brain got its energy, its heat, it ain't going to eat the rest of the body up. That's why this is a science. That's why you must meditate.
I love it.
Electricity is going up and down the spinal cord. They told you that in the biography of a yogi. This book was out over 100 years ago. This book is talking about it. All of them God man, the word made flesh. He's just going into the esoteric stuff, telling you what the scriptures is talking about the human being. It's talking about the human being. Being self-sufficient, a God. That's what it's talking about. And you can do it. You remember I said to you yesterday, this stuff is real.
Yeah, this stuff is real.
You read enough books. This is real. You got to make it real. Or you're just going to keep reading books running off at the mouth.
And then we were talking about the Crusades and how what happened in the Crusades was all because they destroyed the memo. They destroyed the memo, ripped the page out of the book.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so we got confused and we didn't know our true nature. That knowing that we could disappear ourselves into gas.
Now,
I'll
listen
come
up what
back
she
at you.
said, because some people will say, I'll say this breatharianism is ancient knowledge, right?
Ancient
And
knowledge.
see, people say, keep in mind that all of humanity, you know enough now, we did go through a time period of crusades, wars, libraries being burned, knowledge being burned, people with knowledge being killed. That took place on this planet. You might as well fess up to it. Knowledge was lost big time. Some little remnants of knowledge is in different places, is resurrected now, and we got to put the pieces back together. We went through that as a human family.
Yeah, and then because we think it's not real what they did at the Temple of Solomon, we don't think, oh, it's just history.
Right.
It's their story because they're the victors. But actually, you're saying this is real.
This is real.
You know, we can.
Right.
This is who our true nature is.
When God was walking around, he was using somebody's feet,
Yeah.
talking. Right. This is real. So this is, I'm just giving you this now. So you know enough now, and if you don't, there's enough resources out here where you can start getting yourself together, getting on this path so you can manifest what? The Word made flesh.
The Word made flesh.
Be healthy. And check this out, live forever. We're straight saying it. Why should you die? Cells,
We regenerate.
we regenerate. That's why
That's
this
a
is called
fact.
serpent knowledge. That's a fact. And you can keep on regenerating, keep on regenerating. But it's a lifestyle. It's not like, oh, I've achieved immortality now, just like I've achieved breatharian. It's a lifelong thing. You can quit anytime you want to. Anytime you feel like you want to have that life experience, you might want to experience dying.
And then we also said as well, like, you know, the 20s, 30s, and your 40s, that is the time to experience the life.
Oh, now we just talk about time periods.
Yeah,
When you're in your 20s, you're exploring.
yeah.
You
30s,
are. It don't matter if 30s. It don't matter what people tell you. You're exploring.
yeah.
It don't matter if it's right or wrong. Let me see.
Let me
That's
see.
just a curiosity that's in us, but that's good. It's good that you explore. God want to explore through that vessel, had these experiences. It's when you start getting a little older, you start saying, okay, I can't do that no more. I've already had that life experience, so this new one might be ready for me.
Yeah.
You understand? So we're saying all that to say this. I don't expect somebody 20 years old to go through a life not eating and not exploring stuff like that. You understand? If so, so be it. And people talking about kids and children, they got their life paths to do, to explore and all of this other stuff. Because they still got, what, families they want to do. So even when we talk celibacy, going to the renunciation part, I don't expect a person to make that vow when they're 15. The reason why we're here is because somebody had sex. So don't stop talking stupid. Well, how would the human family be here? We ain't saying that. This is taking part in the evolution or where a person want to go next. Now, I know I'm doing pretty good. I'm half a century old, and I'm glad that I can experience this now because I had those other life experiences. Yes, I know what ayahuasca tastes like. I know what urine therapy is. I know what smoking weed is. I smoked with the best of them. I was a connoisseur of some of the finest wine. All right?
You party hard.
Partied hard. I could dance. Right. So that don't mean that somebody got to be home as a child. This is life experiences. You had that, been there, done that. Now you launching off into something else, another experience, because you're ready. You'd have had that. Put it up under your belt.
Yeah, and then you don't have the desire because you can't be a breatharian.
You don't even have the desire.
Not desiring to do.
Right. And even materialism. Yeah, I owned houses, did different businesses and stuff. Well, what about materialism? Go have that dream. The reason why that ain't in me now because I've already done that, and I like being freed up now. I really love it. If you was to give me a house note, I'll look at you crazy. I don't care how the house looked. Not right now. I'm talking. That's me. But if you haven't had that life experience, I'm just saying, work the best you can. I'm just saying, that goes along with the territory of age, of experience. So, again, all this goes hand in hand, but this is a wonderful journey. So keep up the good work. You got any more to say?
No.
Hasta luego, baby.
Hasta luego. Bye.